Welcome back to part 2, and in part 1 we were just talking to Rene about his experience post the previous interview that I did with him 2 years ago, and so we're now in part 2. Let's discuss some more detail of his trading. So Rene, coming to your actual trading style now, let's just explore that a little bit. I don't need to know the absolute technicals because it's something that I've given to you, I've shown you. But certainly there's some room for improvement, isn't there?
Yes.
So what would you say, what are a couple of things that you need to improve upon?
Firstly, that I focus too much on one trade. I know I mustn't, and I try. And the only way I get around it is I put the trade on, and then I don't look at the computer for a day or 2 days until I feel sure it's played out, and that way I can't interfere with it. And that's my biggest issue at the moment. I know I should be doing a block of whatever, 20 trades or something, and reviewing the whole lot. I'm getting there, but if I've got one trade on, it's unlikely I'm going to put another one on.
Right, okay. Yeah. So that, although in part 1 we've just said that your confidence and your belief has really grown, but we've got to bear in mind you've had 10 years of negativity effectively in your previous 10 years or so of trading. So your belief is growing, but it still needs some work on it, because we've had a discussion beforehand, and I've said, well, try and block it off into groups of 20, into a block of 20, log all your trades, and think of each one. So well, let's say you get to 8 trades in, well, you don't know the result. Yes, you know the result of that individual trade, but until you get to 20, it's pretty much here nor there. So yes, you're absolutely right. You need to take that away and say, well, I can't put too much focus on one trade. And also, like you've said, you're only doing one trade at a time, when sometimes there could be a couple of opportunities.
Exactly,
So until you've come out of a trade, you won't even look at the charts. Or
well, I've seen them, and I can see them setting up. And I think, well, I'm not going to look at it just yet, because then I'll see the other one. And so it's baggage from before. I've got to sort of try to clear all of the mistakes I've made and just focus on the embryos of what I do now, which is I've got good trades, good trading setups, my discipline is good, and now I'm ready to improve what I do.
It's just the psychology now. That's all it is. It's the mindset, which, like you said, you're already getting more confident. Block it off into groups of 20. So the trade that you're in right now at that very moment is here nor there. It's just one trade over a block of 20. That might, as we've already discussed, help you on that regard. Tell me also a little bit about your profit targets then.
Well, so if I'm looking at a daily time frame at a setup, I don't necessarily look at the daily time frame for a profit target. I'll go right down to an hourly and take a profit from there, providing it's greater than 1-to-1 profit loss. Then I'll take it on.
You are still at least looking at your risk reward ratio and saying, well, it's got to be at least greater than 1-to-1.
Always minimum 1-to-1. I try to aim for 2-to-1, and the average is around, I risk 1 to make 1.5. That's what it's playing out.
It's not too bad. That's decent.
No, it's okay, and I'm actually happy with that. I'm more focused on getting confident in what I'm doing, and it doesn't see, if I stick to the rules, then I'm getting confident. They work.
So you're, but like you said, as a result, you're having a higher win rate.
Yes.
Yes. But you know that you could be more profitable, yes?
Yes. Yeah. But I haven't got the nerve to go there yet. So,
okay, so let's explore that. So you can be more profitable.
Yes.
But what is going to have to give in order for you to be more profitable? So if your profit, the amount of pips made or points made, whatever, goes up, what's got to come down?
I will have more losing trades.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
And at the moment, you're not ready to face
that. I'm quite happy winning.
Yes.
It's a novelty.
This is a classic thing that happens with traders, that they want to win all of the time, and especially newer traders, or someone like you. You're not a newer trader, but because your history has been very negative, generally speaking, that's a lot of baggage to overcome. So. But you know it now, your confidence is growing, and it's just a case of, again, I've given you some advice on logging those trades and on logging where you could have come out, as opposed to where you do come out, so you can see the difference, and that'll help with that confidence as well on holding on to those trades. But they're baby steps, you only have to make small steps at a time. This has been a pivotal year for you, really, since that last interview.
I'm on the path. I'm enjoying the process, and I honestly believe I can trade. So, but now, if I want to make money from it, I've got to put some input. You've given me the next step, which, I mean, last time, I had a whole list of things I had to do before I could start making any sort of money. Now, I'm making the money. Now I'll do this next step. It's nice and simple. I will focus on block trading.
Yeah, exactly.
Or looking at trading as a whole rather than individual.
These are, I think, the two things for you at the moment. Is one, looking at your profit targets, although it's not a massive issue right now, but maybe in 6 months' time, when you're starting to do tweaks and see how you can improve, that'll be something for you to look out there to run those trades a little bit more, and your confidence by then will be higher, even more than where you are now, so that you can say, well, okay, I'm going to sacrifice my win rate, but I'm going to be making more money this way. So that's one thing, blocking your trades off as well. So these are two things that you can take away right now today in 2019. Probably going to have to get you back in 2020 at this rate. But
2030, I might make a bit more by then.
Well, actually, let's talk about the more distant future. You said to me earlier on about maybe in 5 years' time you're going to be going back, we don't know, it might be 10 years, but to full-time trading again.
So I'm gardening, or I've got a gardening business now that's making money. At the moment, I'm consciously not expanding it, although it's sort of at its limit of how much I can do. I don't know how much longer my body's going to hold out. So my view is take the pressure off the trading. Say in 5 years' time, by that, if I can keep progressing as I am now, because now I've got clear targets, so things normally speed up if you have a clear target. Then I say, right, fine, in 5 years, maybe I can slow down on the gardening, do the trading, see if I can
find a bit more of a happy medium.
And then do the gardening as a hobby, trading as a living.
Well, we touched on this earlier on, that a lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves monetary-wise, and you've done that in the past. But too soon, especially too soon. In 5 years' time, if you've had 5 years of profitable trading under your belt, then there won't be the same sort of pressure. But even if in 5 years' time, or 7 years, whatever it is, you've still got a business there, you might still have a business, so you've still got some income coming from there, you're still not putting all of that pressure on yourself as a trader.
No, but if I can get past this individual stage, I think this probably for me is the crucial one. Get past that, review trading, because as long as the profit's going up, that's fine. At the moment, I don't need the income from any trading, so I shouldn't have pressure on me. So the pressure I have is a bad one. It's this desire to be right, which I've got to get rid of. I've got to look at it more as probabilities, the same as you would in a casino, and just relax. I'm too anxious about the whole thing. Once I get past that, I think the rest will speed up.
You say you're too anxious. I'm having to bring this up because you're still saying you're confident and you've got more belief, and you do believe in yourself as a trader, but at the same time then you're using words like anxious.
I know.
So what I think is, from reading into this, is that you can feel your confidence rising, generally speaking. You're looking back at this last 6 months, your confidence is rising and your belief is rising. But on a micro level, you still feel anxious when you're when you're in that trade until the trade's completed. So that's what needs to work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, how do I quickly do that?
We'll have to come off camera, I guess, for me to do some more work with you on that.
Snap your fingers?
Well, really, how to overcome that is things like blocking your trades, as we've already discussed. That will be one thing that help you to say, this is only one trade in the next 20. The results of the next 20 trades are more important than just the outcome of this very trade right now. And that's the type of thing that you have to keep reminding yourself. You mentioned to me earlier on about you picture me stood behind you, sort of thing, talking to you and giving you advice when you're taking trades. Keep that image in your mind, maybe not completely, but you know what I mean.
Well, this is a sideline is very important. Being held to account. I should have had it years ago, but I'm not very good at being told it, so I've always resisted it. But I mean, that's the difference. When I'm sitting at the computer and I'm about to do, I don't do bad trades anymore.
No.
By bad trades, I mean the setup, not the outcome. Because you're on my shoulder and it's straight away I can hear, what are you doing now? Pack it in.
So, we're coming to the end of the interview now. What advice, after all this time now, and it's wonderful, I'm so pleased having come from that last interview 2 years ago to where we are today and seeing where you are today, what advice would you give to your former self, that self of yours who was on that BBC programme back in 2013 or 14, whenever it was? If you could give yourself that advice now, what two pieces of advice would you give yourself?
Well, never leave your job. You don't need to leave any paid work to learn all the fundamental and basics of trading, because that's not where the hard work is. So don't do that, because if you essentially don't put financial pressure on yourself, it's not going to come as quick as you think. And enjoy the process. Look for ways to enjoy the process, not the outcome. And then I think you'll be on the path to being as successful as you want to be.
Brilliant. Okay, it's all about the process, not the outcome.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We'll leave it at that. Rene, thank you ever so much for coming
thank
back
you,
on.
Charlie.
And maybe we'll have you again. Well, hopefully we'll have you again in another year or two, because everyone is always so interested to see how you're getting on. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you.
That's the end of this interview. My name's Charlie Burton. Trade safely out there.